So we're out at this place called Governor's today, which is an antique, huge, I don't even know what to call it, store slash yard. And we're on the outside part where they've got, as you see, some of the concrete pieces and all of that. There's a bunch of, I guess, trailers, or they're like, no, they're cargo things, like the cargo containers that you have on ships, full of things. As far as that tree line out there, I can't show you here. Hubby's in here looking at potentially some, there he is, say hi. He's looking at some old wooden doors that we might refurbish for our front door. We want a nice antique door. And I was just amused to come all the way back here. We're at the way back far end of the property. And we saw this beautiful pond with like a gazillion, trillion, fulfillion lily pads. Not lily pads, just lilies. I guess water lilies is what they're called. They're not lily pads as some people might think. It's junky right here, but let me show you, like right in there. Isn't that so pretty? It's a really beautiful fall day. Nice weather. It's about 70 degrees, upper 60s, lower 70s. And as you can see from the trees, a breeze is blowing, and the breeze is cool and fresh, and I love it. So let's go in here and see what's happening with the door situation. So they've got, gosh, hundreds of old doors. Let's see. Look at all the lighting fixtures. Oh, you want glass like that. Okay.
Well, not necessarily, but this is nice.
Yeah.
Come look at it from this side.
Okay. So here's the door. What would you do to it, do you think?
Add glass.
I mean, in terms of color, would you restore it back to natural wood or paint it? Okay. It's pretty. I like the little detail up there. And I could see potential for a really gorgeous knob there. This place goes on and on. This is like one section of the store, and there are probably, oh my gosh, like 36 sections like this or more. It's huge. Lots of like little houses and sections and barn structures that have all these old pieces in it. And I mean, you can get lost in here just for days and days. And these are just the doors. Look at the light fixtures. So the balusters, are they for outside on the porch, or are you trying to redo the ones in the house? Yes, it is. That's huge. Look at the old school chair. School desk. It's free. Look at the tubs. What is that? Oh, it's like a seesaw. Kids on a seesaw. How cute. He looks like he's got a seesaw wedgie, the poor guy. Oh, that's cool. See the lion's head in there? That's neat. How much do you think those things weigh?
Yeah, that would look good at the top.
It would. All the feet of the clawfoot feet of the tubs. You want $4,500 for whatever this is. The big metal door behind it, that would make a great piece on a huge wall. Like an art piece on a huge wall. It could also be a headboard for a bed if you wanted a real, like truly industrial look. Wonder who bathed in all these tubs. How many families use these over the years? 30 butts. 30 little booties. Wonder what stories these tubs and items, like there's an old fire hydrant back here. If this fire hydrant could talk, what stories would it tell? And whatever that is, some kind of pump. I'm sure one of y'all in the audience would know. What is that? Super cool. See, this is what I mean about like the cargo containers. These are all old fireplaces in here. I'm sure many of y'all in the audience were like, that just looks like a bunch of junk. But for us, we can see beyond like the rust and think about what it would look like if it were restored. And that's kind of fun. You can look at all these old fireplaces. Gosh, what stories would they tell about what happened around the hearth at the holidays or whatever? Of course, I'm imagining good things. I'm sure there are some not so good stories to tell too. Look at all these old sinks. How many people shaved at these sinks, washed their face and hands in preparation for dinner or the day or breakfast or whatever. Wheels.
These are for those old cars, like what I have in that coffee table.
Oh. Look at this. Like, where was this? Where did this come from? What building did it come out of? And who stood there washing, what, dishes, hands, something else? There you go. That's what we need. Right in our family room. Oh, there's another one back there. That's a really pretty piece of stained glass right there. Huge, but you know what? No. I changed my mind. 2,500. Wowzers. I do like that one of the woman. It's kind of neat. This one down here, these are cool. These have been in people's homes. Somewhere over the front door or something like that. With the house number on it. That's neat. Is that like a potbelly stove type of thing? It's interesting looking. Yeah, these shades are really nice. Beautiful. Oh my god, how traditional is that? What are those called? English pointers or setters or something? There we are again. What if these things came to life at night? What if it came to life right now? Men's wool bathing suit. Imagine going swimming in that. Scratch your man
Oh my
parts.
gosh. I used to have one of those little airplanes.
I remember. Yep. I have no idea what those are. $800. Lord have mercy. Each. Cast iron porthole, $1,500. The conversations happening in here are so funny. I have no idea what they're talking about, but everybody's very happy and jovial. Really friendly customers, friendly owners. Oh, look, more animals taxidermied. Great. Ooh, look at that old booth. What is that?
Oh, they changed it into something else. Finished bar. Okay.
What do you think that booth back there is for? To like a confessional?
Come look what they did here. They got good stuff.
Was a sword that was issued to French soldiers that were sent here to help fight the British against the Americans. Yeah,
Because
and it was a sword that
cleaned up.
infantrymen carried.
Oh, that's cool.
And I remember thinking, oh wow,
Yeah.
I'll save it for next time I go back.
This is
I'll
worth
get it.
$1,200.
The stuff sat there.
Wonder what gorgeous music came out of that. Oh, these are like legs for tables. We have some of these, as you know, in my office downstairs and also on our kitchen table. Love that. Look how much they want. $1,500. Lord, Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. Okay, that is just straight creepy.
That's where you squirt the water in it.
Oh, is that what that is?
It's quick to turn that into a light. That is super, super, super cool.
The fan.
Yeah, the fan into a light.
Yeah, that is
I love that.
a neat idea.
That's brilliant.
Hey guys, so it's Sunday and I'm getting ready to film. I'm super tired. I can't figure out why I've been so sleepy. This past week, I did not eat my best. And while I was traveling, you know, I always promise myself I'm going to like fast or, you know, just go all protein or something like that, or all protein, low carb. And then I get on site with my colleagues and inevitably there's dessert and there's cookies and we go out to eat and we stay out late and we drink wine and laugh and just have the time of our lives together. I really do love my colleagues. They're very, very kind humans. I consider them like an extension of my family. They're like work family. So I don't want to miss out on those social gatherings. But of course, me being the weakling that I am, I eat all the bread on the table, all the pastas, all the stuff that just kind of makes me sluggish and slow down. I've done better. Like Thursday night, I got home. Thursday night into Friday, I was super tired. And then Friday, I started to lift back up because I was back on drinking, you know, a good amount of water. I don't overhydrate. That's a danger too. Well, you have to drink a lot of water for it to be a dangerous amount, but I don't believe in like having to drink half your body weight. I just feel like we should just be conscious of remaining hydrated, whatever that means. That's different from person to person, but it's not like a set ounce amount that I feel like I have to have. So drinking more water, I've gotten better sleep, and I've gotten back on my protein, high protein game, and that has really helped regulate me. Today's Sunday. I think part of me is just like, I just want to lounge, but I promised myself I would film at least this video, the end of this video, and also one for the fragrance channel. So I want to get that done because I have some other travel coming up here at the end of October. And I like to post at least once a week for the other channel and at least once every 2 weeks for this channel. I had hoped to do once a week for this channel and it just hasn't quite worked out that way. So I'm trying to give myself the grace of being on an every other week schedule at least. So I have some travel coming up the end of October and I don't want to feel rushed to film and edit everything then. I've been in the process of filming maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of when the video posts. So that gives me a nice amount of time to edit. And if you know anything about editing, especially on the other channel, it might take me, if it's like 50 minutes of footage and I want to get it down to 30 minutes or less and get all of the words on the screen, and sometimes there's bottle images and other things you want to put in there, transitions between clips and all of that, you know, it could take me anywhere from 5 to 10 hours to edit a video. I know that sounds crazy because the finished product that you see on screen doesn't look like that, but editing takes a long time. The more stuff you see on the screen and the more fancy transitions and things, the longer that it takes. And I can see why some creators just don't edit. They just pop up what they record and let it fly. But I find that, at least for me as a viewer, if there isn't a lot of dead air on the video, like a lot of pauses and a lot of watching the creator think through things, it's easier for me to watch, and I want to make it easier for you to watch. Wow, that was a random AF tangent, but I wanted to show you a couple of things. Well, first of all, let me say I did wear my aligners while I was on site and no one mentioned anything. So thank you all for being so sweet and so supportive. Like, nobody cares about that stuff. Just don't do anything awkward. Whether they did notice or not, no one said anything. So I felt a little bit better. So I have one more work trip where I'll have these in at the end of October. And I'm hoping, excuse me, I am hoping that the orthodontist tells me that I can get out of them in the next few months, and that travel in the new year will be sans these and sans the weird little things that keep them in place, the little hooks, and I'll be able to whiten my teeth and enjoy smiling again, because I do miss a big smile. I mean, who doesn't enjoy someone else having a big smile and having a great time with them? So, favorite products of the week. And this is from my makeup tray, not 2. It was kind of like makeup tray 2.5, because I didn't do a whole makeup tray since I was traveling last week, but I did grab some products to take with me on the trip. So that's kind of like a faux makeup tray. All those products are now in my little makeup container, which, by the way, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Can we take a 2.2, as Sheree says? I was telling my son, who is 15, there was a YouTube song, the letter U, the number 2 song that came on the radio while we were driving. Well, does anyone listen to the radio anymore? It was really XM radio. Does that count? That's still satellite. I mean, it's satellite radio, but it's radio. And the song was from U2, still haven't found what I'm looking for, which was so iconic when I was in high school. The band itself, the kind of music that they did, it was so like out on its own thing. They were doing their own thing, and I loved it. I loved their albums. I had the cassettes, y'all. I had the cassettes from, was it called Columbia House, where you would order from the pamphlet. You'd order like 10 to 20 of them for like a penny each. And that was how they hooked you into the monthly membership of it, or whatever, however they did the pricing structure. I don't remember, but I used to have the cassette of the first big YouTube album that made them famous with this song on it. But what I'm getting at is the song was, still haven't found what I'm looking for. And my son, he was like, that's such a fuddy-duddy song, Mom. Ew, why are you listening to that? And I had to laugh, thinking, isn't that funny? Like, I did that to my parents. You know, they listened to a lot of like Caribbean music, like a lot of salsa music. They listened to like Mexican romantic ballads. They loved Vicente Fernandez. If there's anybody out there that knows who that is, put like a star emoji down in the comments. And they listen to a lot of Elvis and that sort of stuff. They listen to a lot of like that 50s, like jailhouse rock type of music. And I used to think I liked it as a little girl. And then as I started to get a little older in my teens, of course, it seemed super fuddy-duddy to me, because we were in the 80s at that point, and it was all about like Madonna and Prince and all of that sort of stuff. Oh my gosh, so friggin' funny. Anywho, where am I going with this? I don't know. Let's get into the favorite products of the week. I will say, look, friends, I know a lot of you are here because you enjoy the company with me, and I love you for that. But for those of you that are also here to actually think about makeup and what kind of products you want, and listen, even for those of you that are not into makeup and are just here to hang out, I really strongly advise, if you want a little bit of makeup without a lot of fuss, reliable makeup that performs and is like no fuss, no muss type of thing, Viseart does it. Hang on. So what I love about these little palettes, first of all, they're teeny tiny. They fit in your hand. You can literally stick them, y'all, in your back pocket. If you want, you can apply with your fingers and just do like a one and done shadow, maybe a one and done in the crease, and like a little bit of glitter or something on the eyelid. And you don't even have to worry about mascara or nothing, and just go your merry happy way. This is called the Rose Edit. It opens like this. It's the cutest little thing. These are not inexpensive. I think these retail for maybe 40 something, but you can get them on sale. Viseart is constantly running sales, and these glitters are very friendly to aging eyes. So if you have texture, a little bit goes a long way. Let me just like do this one here so you can see. Look how smoothly that goes on. That was one swatch. So you can do maybe something like this in the crease, and maybe something like that right on the top of your eyelid, and you've won. You're done. You're ready to go. So I took this one, which is called the Rose Edit. And I got these on sale during one of the Sephora sales for 20% off, but Viseart does even better sales. And I took this cute little palette, which is called the Warm Edit. Precious. I just love these little things. And never mind my yellow. It's a little grody because I dug into this brown and also then dug into there. But cool toned types of, cool tone to neutral probably. And these are more warmer shades. This is all you need. I mean, if you wanted an entire eyeshadow set that could get you through just about any occasion, here you go. The only thing I don't see in here is maybe blue and red. And I don't like red shadows very much anyway. I mean, I'm not that creative to figure out what to do with red shadows, but I mean, you can get sort of a rosy, reddy look out of that one. Anyway, these two are fabulous. I took these and I used them both. Excuse me, I am lying to you. I did not take these. I took something else. So these were in makeup tray number 2. I'm confusing myself. I just wanted to say, too, that I love the Viseart shadows. So for those of you that are not makeup junkies and you just want something simple, it's really hard to go wrong with these cutie pie shadows. They last for forever. They don't mold. This is the one that I took. I'm sorry because I told you this in a video. So I was about to lie to y'all and say I took the warm edit and whatever. I challenged myself to take one palette. I think this like Baroque style cover is the cutest thing. I love that it has like a director's chair, which is like a makeup artist chair, I think is what it's supposed to represent. I don't know for a fact, but this one is a little bit bigger. Let me show you. Let me take the cover off. I like to keep the covers on if I can remember to, because I don't know, in my mind, I feel like it preserves the shadow more. Here's the size difference. This is all the shadow you'll need probably for the next 3, 4, 5 years if you wear shadows sparingly and you're not into makeup. These give you a little bit more of a bigger pan size, but they're still very manageable in size. So this was a very cool toned palette. For me, this is like more neutral. I guess it's a little cool. This is more neutral, but these are very subtle, nice colors. You can build them up as much as you want, or you can keep it light. I wish I had taken some footage for you all of the makeup, but the hotel that I was staying in, let me tell you all about that in a minute. I'm getting, in my old age, very persnickety about hotels. Let's talk. But the lighting was terrible in the hotel. So I couldn't do like any real pictures unless I stood by the window. And by that time I was ready to go to the office and get my workday started. But anyway, really nice collection. One day I did more of these like very light mauvey purpley types of tones over here. Another day I did these. And I think the last day I sort of stuck in here somewhere, and it worked and I did well. I only took one palette for all 3 days. It's really 4 days because I left on Monday and I was there on site Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I don't remember. I didn't put any makeup on Monday. That's what's going on. So I do have another work trip coming up, and I think I'm going to challenge myself to take this little palette, the Mink Set Attendu. Hey y'all, my friends that speak French, I don't usually ask for pronunciations because the French police come out and they come out with whips and chains. They're going to get you. They're going to get you on those French pronunciations. But y'all are much kinder. Tell me, how do you pronounce this? Attendu. So this one's a bit warmer in tone. It's a lot warmer in tone than the cashmere. This one is more cool to neutral. This one is neutral to warm. Like I would consider these down here neutral, but the rest of these, like all of these, have definite warm undertones in them. So I'm going to take this on my end of month trip. That's it. I'm not going to take other eyeshadow palettes. Everything's going to work off of this. And then I also have this Violet Attendu. Beautiful packaging. This one is a little bit more challenging, a lot more challenging because there's a lot of purpley tones. So this is one that I might take maybe on vacation, or like if hubby and I were going out to the mountains for wine tasting and I wanted to get a little bit more funky with my look, I might take something like this. But we know as I'm getting older, these two palettes, that's everything. These are everything to me, okay? And then I was also loving my Hourglass palettes. I don't know, I'm feeling like I should probably reduce my blush collection down to the ones that I absolutely adore, because I have blushes like the Burt's Bees. This is Bare Peach, which I love, but I know this doesn't perform well like these do. So look at these colors. Yes, Hourglass is a lot more expensive and all of that, but here's the thing. These shadows actually look very, very lovely on my skin. They look very natural. Whereas I look like I'm wearing blush when I have this on. This looks like an extension of my own skin color, sort of shining through, like I'm flushed, if you will. And they're just really smooth. As I mentioned in previous videos, I know that Hourglass has issues in terms of its public perception and the fact that they release shadows every year that are similar to last year's, not shadows. They release powders that are similar to last year's powders and all of that. And they really need to get their range game together so that they are putting out, I keep saying shadows, powders that reflect deeper skin tones or are usable by deeper skin tones. So come on, Hourglass, come with it. My eyebrow game, was off. Honestly, I probably should have just done something like one of these. And so I think I'm going to do that for the end of the month and not try to like take a pencil with me and just use this to fill in a little bit extra, because I think the way that I do my eyebrows up close, you can see the strokes. Now I can see that on other colleagues and it doesn't bother me that I see it on other people, but it bothers me that people see it on me. Does that make sense? It just feels like a natural for me. I will say 2 cheapy blushes that I still stand by, although I hate the packaging on them. They're so bad. In fact, I think they're in new packaging. They're these Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes. This is Pearlescent Pink, which is a dupe for NARS Orgasm. And then there's Keep It Peachy. I love a good peach cheek. I do. But so you see that there's the sticker residue because they put the sticker all over that you have to cut off, and then you're ill. Let's go back to the hotel conversation because I just wanted to ask. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Let me finish talking about the products that I love. So remember I talked about using a shade of concealer that's a little bit like either the same skin color or a little darker. I have on something lighter today. I have on this, which is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear in 260. 260 is the color. There's a name for the color and I can't remember what it is. I think there's a name. Anyway, but this is the MAC in NW25, which is darker than my regular skin tone. And I love how natural this looked. I used this on site and it was a good idea to do that. I didn't feel like my skin looked makeup-y. I did not feel like my eyeshadow looked makeup-y. I did not feel like my mascara looked makeup-y or my cheeks. I even used bronzer. I used an Hourglass bronzer that was beautiful. Again, it looks really natural, I think. I did minimal like lip product because I didn't want to look overly done up. The eyebrows were what looked overly done. So I had to be careful with that. And even with being careful, I just felt uncomfortable with what I did with my eyebrows. But I can't rave enough about this Haus Labs foundation. Here's what I love about it. And just as a reminder, mine is in the color 300 Medium Neutral. In fact, let me put it on here because I love it so much. I'm going to use it again today. In what universe have I used a foundation 4 times in 1 week? Tell me, do you know? Because I have not. But what I love about this foundation is how unbelievably natural it looks. It's a dewy foundation, radiant, I guess is what folks call it. Maybe not dewy, that's a little extreme, but it looks super natural. Now, this is a little bit more, like I said, cashew colored, almost olivey. I think it's kind of olive. It has a little tinge of green undertone. If you're an artist, you know what I mean. You know, it's not yellow, it's not orangey, it's not brown, it's not cream colored. It has a little bit of green in it, and that is okay. And that's what makes, I think, I'm no makeup artist, but an olive toned foundation. There's a little bit of green that goes a little farther than neutral in the olive color direction. So I look at this. This looks so realistic to me. Now it's still wet and it'll dry down, but on the dry down, it's still quite radiant, I think, and very natural looking. And I will also probably take this with me in my makeup bag at the end of the month. Like, why fuss? If I know something's going to work and I know that travel in and of itself stresses me out, why bother with trying to like introduce variety? Take what you know works. That's it. So now we can go back to the hotel conversation. So my office is across the street from one hotel that a lot of us usually stay at when we go up to the headquarters, right? Now, the trouble is that hotel is a little bit dank and dark. I wouldn't say dingy. It's like it needs a little bit of a maybe upgrade or deep clean, if you will. It's not like it's unacceptable and disturbing or anything like that. But when there are probably 5 other hotel options in the area that are great, this stuff, then like why put yourself through the trouble of staying at a hotel that you really are just not enjoying? And so I think that's all I wanted to say, that I've come to the conclusion in my life that, and so why do I stay at the hotel? It's close to the office. Like I literally can go, there's a Starbucks right there. I can go to the Starbucks and then walk across the street to the office. So if it's really hot or if it's really cold, it doesn't matter. I'm close to the office. and can get there super fast. My other colleagues insist on staying at other hotels because they like them more. And so I guess what I'm saying is I've come to the conclusion that if you're going to be away from home for 3 days, you probably want to be as comfortable as possible. And even if it means walking a little bit more to get there and to get back, you spend the entire evening at the hotel. Like you want to feel like you're in, it doesn't have to be posh, but I don't know, like a comfortable space. And I no longer feel like this hotel is comfortable. The bathroom is super crowded. Like the door opens onto the, almost like the toilet. Like it just barely misses the toilet seat by like 2 inches. And I'm like, really? So you have to have the door completely closed or completely open to use the facilities. The toilet feels like it's right on top of the sink. And then the tub feels like it's right on top of the toilet. And I'm like, who has room in here to like even turn around? And then the lighting is bad for makeup, all of that. I know, first world problems, as you know, people say, but that's what's going on with that. So the other product that I'm loving this week, so let's give it up for all of the Hourglass palettes. I'm loving all of those, but I just got in the mail. This was a blind buy. I'm not supposed to be blind buying, but you know, I also don't restrict myself to these sort of steadfast rules because life, right? Like I'm an adult. I can make decisions that are outside of the rules if I feel like it. I got Jo Malone Ginger Biscuit. Oh my cuteness. I think this is a re-release. I don't know a lot about this. I don't think it's new because it has on Fragrantica an old bottle design. So I think it was re-released with this cute little bow on it, which will probably get annoying after a while, but for now it's cute. And friends, when I tell you this smells just like a ginger biscuit, this is the cutest little thing. It's a spicy ginger, like real light spice, like you have on like gingerbread cookies. You know, there's enough spice in there that you're like, ooh, that's different than like a chocolate chip cookie. And it also has like that vanilla cookie doughy base to it. It's a very light version of that. This is not a powerhouse fragrance or anything. I wore it. It came yesterday. By the way, I ordered this as soon as it came back in stock on Jo Malone. I paid full price. Don't tell anyone. It was on my doorstep. No later than 72 hours later. It might have been even between 48 and 72 hours. It was on my doorstep. And I was like, go ahead, Jo Malone. Y'all are not playing around. And I wore it last night to bed. Hubby liked it. And he's not a big gourmand fan. This is definitely a gourmand fragrance. So that's also a love. So I'm done with the final look. I can't get my curls to relax. Some days I curl my hair and it drops straight out. Like before I get a chance to enjoy the curl, it just today, and it's because I think because yesterday I washed my hair and I stuck it up in like a bun on top of my head. I didn't dry it, and so it has some sort of like natural tendency to curl. I do have wavy curly hair. This isn't a natural curl for me. This is a curling iron curl. I think the barrel is an inch or, well, maybe a little bit more than an inch and a third or an inch and a half barrel, like maybe like that wide. I maybe should have used a bigger barrel. Anyway, see? Boing, boing. They just drop. I didn't want it quite that curly. I think this is a little bit overdone, but I'm going to roll with it. Now for eyeshadow, I used a bronze palette from Natasha Denona, and I stayed over in this section. I think I used one of these. I forget which one. Maybe this one in the middle. And hold on a second. Yeah, this is True Copper here. It looks darker in person than it does here, but that's what's on most of the lid with this in the middle. And then I think I used one of the goldier ones on the inside. This is through the crease and this is in the outer corner. I needed something like darker and sultrier. I think the lip is maybe a little glossy for what I was going for. Maybe I should go back in and do a more matte lip. And for the cheek, I used, no, not that. I'm on an Hourglass kit. Can you tell? This is the holiday palette. The Tiger, is that what it's called? Yeah, Lightning Edit Unlocked Tiger. And I like these sort of coppery tones. So I use this on the cheek. This is actually supposed to be a highlighter, like a strobe light, they call it. But I mix these two together to do the top part of the cheek. I do have the regular butter bronzer all over my face. I'm continuing to make my way through this same sculpting bronzer. That's the color, butter bronzer. And it's not hitting pan. I took this with me. No, I didn't. That's a lie. I used the Hourglass bronzer on the trip. So I'm making my way through that. And I think I used this on the inner corner and for a little bit of highlight under the brow bone and here. So there's kind of the final look. I might redo the lip. I used a very dark pencil. This is Bare Minerals and this is Striking Spice, which I think is just a really great fall color. I actually did that all over my lips underneath this. I like the color. Maybe I'll just color my lips in with that. And then on top, my lip color is Chocolate Lust. This is from Maybelline, but this is the Shine collection. I really, since it's all shiny up here, I should have done something matte on the lip, but 60 Chocolate Lust. I really like the color. Looks like that. Okay, I'm gonna go film, but first let's do the makeup tray for the week. Forgive my absolutely messy counter. Okay, so I have the same base products, my two moisturizers, Polish Choice and the Supergoop Play. I have the Ferulic facial essence, which it looks like I'm about halfway through, and I'm starting to finish up this double serum from Clarins. I'm gonna keep the Stila Hide and Chic foundation, which is in the darker color tan, as to darken up my other foundations, as well as keep the D Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops from Drunk Elephant to help darken up any products that need some darkening up. Now let's go for foundation and concealer. So for concealers, I'm going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect Long Wear Concealer. This is in the color 130 Light Beige. And then I also have Conceal the Deal from Lawless. This is full coverage. It's a little bit thick, but I'm going to try it some more in the color Cashew. So for my two foundations for the week, I'm going to go with good old Luminous Silk Foundation from Giorgio Armani. This is in the color 5.5. I also have it in 5, which is a little light. 5.5 is a little better. And then I have 6, which is closer to an olive tone, like the House Labs that I just used today. It's the same as that, or similar to that. But I'm going to go with this sort of in-between and maybe darken it up with some of the other products I just showed you. I'm going to put in the Flower Light Illusion Luminous Makeup Nude Skin Feel All Day Wear. I'm trying to remember if this is all day wear. This one will last on you. I feel like this one breaks down about dinner time-ish, but it's a really great foundation. Very, very luminous. And what color are you? Why can't I find the color? Classic Tan, medium 3. Medium 3. And then for eyeshadows, while I have it out, I'm going to go ahead and put the bronze palette in there. If you remember makeup tray number 1, I wanted to include it and then decided against it and went with just 2 palettes. So that one will be 1. And then my second palette will be, I'm going to go with the Scott Barnes Snatural, which is some nice easy tones, especially like these types here, that like this whole row right here, these 3 rather, maybe this whole section, like that could be a palette of 6 right there that are really easy to grab and go. Anyway, there's enough variety in here that if I wanted to get jiggy with it one day, I could, or I could just leave it real simple. For mascara, I don't remember where I got this, if it was like part of a set or something, but this is the Anastasia Lash Brag mascara. I think it's supposed to be volumizing. Yeah, volumizing mascara. What color are you? I hope it's black. I don't see a color on it. And that's too little for my eyes to see. So we're going to stick that little itty bitty one in there. Look how tiny that is. And I think this is probably the last week of me using this Monsieur Big. And then I need to open a new one. So let me go on and sort of get that to the point where I can't use it anymore because it's starting to get goopy. I'm going to keep going with my Gimme Brow and Volumizing Pencil from Anastasia. Again, this is a pencil. So, and I have this on my eyebrows today. I'm just going to do the 1. I'm still trying to hit pan on this Butter Bronzer, sculpting bronzer. So let's see if we can see some silver on that this week. I'll throw in, no I won't, let me leave this out. Make my life a little bit easier this week. For cheek products, I'm going to go with good old Milani Luminoso. This is more like a peachy pinky color. And I don't think this is right for the palettes that I just pulled out, but I'm going to try it anyway. And this is Ibiza from Buxom. These are some of the best blushes on the market. The Wanderlust Primer Infused Blush. I don't know what the Primer Infused has to do with anything, but we're going to go with those 2. For lipstick, I'm going to forego liner this week and use 3 lipsticks. This is Maybelline 144 Naked Dare. This is in their cream formula. And it looks like that. So I like that color. It's a pretty easygoing color that can go with both warm and cool colors. And then I have Nudist from Bare Minerals. I don't even know if they make this color anymore. That's really, really, really like a bearish color. In fact, maybe I need one that's a little bit darker. I have brown blush from, where are you, Maybelline in the matte formula. And this is number 575. It's a more like pinky color that has a little bit of that like wax bloom stuff on it, but ask me if I care. I do not. And then maybe I'll add in the chocolate lust that I'm using today for something that has a little bit more warmth to it. All right, so what else are we missing? And just for good measure, I'm gonna go ahead and put the owl palette back in because it's a bit of an obsession right now. So that's it. Oh, you know what? Let's go on and put the other Hourglass palette in, the one that's more warmer tone that I just used today. And that is my makeup tray / wicker box for the week. So with that, friends, I think I am going to bid adieu. I have one video to film and then we got to go to the mall. I got to get my son a suit. He has homecoming coming up. How sweet. I can't wait to see him in his little suit for homecoming. And he's got some sporting events this week and some special dinners before those events. And I'm that mom that volunteered to bring some easy stuff. I didn't volunteer to cook. Although I would love to. I would love to make like a huge lasagna for the entire team, but I know myself and I know that that would stress me out. So I think I just volunteered to bring water and plates, which are currently in the back of my vehicle. Oh, I got my vehicle back. Did I share that? I can't tell you how nice it was to get back into my own vehicle and give the rental over to Enterprise. I felt like I had come home. I nearly cried when I got back into my own vehicle. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, friends. Bye.